to get this one started. The Blue Hens will get us started with the opening kickoff. It bounds through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Gives it on the option. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
Looking to throw, it's Daniels. And they'll miss the connection here on 3rd down.
Well, it's not quite the start this offense wanted to have on 3rd down. It's their first opportunity. That one falls incomplete. They're going to have to be better on those critical downs as this game goes on.
Catches it at the 30. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. From the wideout. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Grabbed behind the line. It's Huff. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, the offense trying to get the screen pass to the running back and get him out into space to do some damage, but the defense not having it. No gain on that play.
Picked off. What a play to set him up.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. And here's the thing, that's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistently.
Power football with the run. Dropped after a pickup of 3 down to the 26.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
And it's so hard to be on the run and make an accurate throw. It's just very tough. Very few people can do it. Again, we see the freaks and we see the highlights all the time, but that's a tough thing to do. He made it look pretty easy.
Trying to move the pile into the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2. They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Akron! They grab the early lead. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Okay, guys, here comes the Delaware offense onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Oh, he's got a chance. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Well, this guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him, and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward schematically.
And you kind of thought in that situation QB might keep it, but makes the right read. Gets it to the pitch man, and what does he do? Gets downhill. Get downhill and get that first down. New set of downs. Nice execution on the option by this offense.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Well, the defense did a nice job taking everything away down the field, but once the drag route was caught, they just couldn't rally to the ball carrier in time to make a tackle, and as a result, new set of downs.
Off the play fake on first down. Fires to the wideout. He's got it. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
Not much room. A pickup of 2 down to the 28.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Quickly out on the screen to the wide receiver. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
They'll try to get the first through the air. But close to the marker, it's not. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
You know, oftentimes when you're playing in conditions like this and it's raining, you'll see a lot of the skill players offensively take off the gloves because they want to be able to feel the football. They think it gives them better control of it. And I don't know if that played into the football going on the ground there, but you know that ball security is going to be one of the biggest factors in this game moving forward.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
He's got his man. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Back to pass, it's Daniels. Makes the grab on the left. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. The Zips with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Wants to go up top. Throws for the tight end. Got his man. Turning it on. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
He wants to throw it again. Now he's going to break the pocket. And this one's not working. He'll just throw it away.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for him.
And the Zips line up, trying to move the sticks on third and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Using his feet to buy time. Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33.
Really nice awareness that time by the quarterback. He knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up the first down. He's scrambling on that play, and there are a lot of guys out there that would slide, that would try to run out of bounds, protect themselves, but that was really tough what he did. He put his body on the line to go pick up that first. Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up there.
Yeah, and plays don't matter anymore. Yards don't matter. All that matters with these defenses nowadays is points and limiting them.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. I think on that last completion, it was a good example of it.
This has been happening all night. They stubbornly keep giving him the ball, and the defense is all over it. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Quarterback extends the play. And he's left with no option but to throw it away.
And that goes down as incompletion, but that's a smart play. And the QB coach and the OC would be very happy with the decision of the quarterback. He got outside the pocket. He obviously, so he's outside the tackle boxes. He knew he could throw it away as long as he got it past the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, nothing open. Live to fight another down.
Back swinging for the goal line. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be first and goal. The Zips started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Zips.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. Fielded in the end zone. It's Davis. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. Guys, a double bear offense going back to work. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great. So I know offensively, I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment and they've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right here, and they're making it hard for this quarterback to go to work.
Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. They convert on third down as he gets it to the 46-yard line.
And how about the awareness by this guy on third down, a scramble play. Everything's breaking down, but he never panics and also knows exactly where he needs to get to pick up that first down. It's third. I can't slide early. I can't run out of bounds. I'm probably going to have to put my body on the line here and take a big hit and risk that to get this first. That's a big-time leadership play by the quarterback.
So now it's second and long. Rides to back and leaves it. Hard running there. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays.
It's so nice as an offense to know you can generate explosive plays by handing the football off to this guy. He has got incredible speed.
Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Oh, what a move to get room. Wrestled out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 7-yard line, and this offense is more than threatening.
I think one of the hardest places to move the football in the field is right outside that fringe area. Now the offense gets to skip that area because it was a great job.
And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Delaware. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into them.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
Floating away. Makes the grab for the two-point conversion as they come further into that lead. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here's the return from inside his 10. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. From the gun, they'll try the middle. What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Dropping back, it's Daniels. Quarterback now breaking the field. On the move, he fires. Snagged in the middle, it's Marks. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
And big pass plays like that are the product of an offensive line doing a great job in pass protection. That quarterback cannot read the coverage and get the football out of his hands to the open receiver unless he has time. So give this offensive line tons of credit up front for communicating and not giving up any ground. They are being so physical.
And the Zips can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Back to pass. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
Throwing right. He makes the catch. He'll work his way down to the 28.
All right, defense, it ain't working, right? They're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
Flushed out of the pocket. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
From the gun, the ground game.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles. And those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Really nice 3rd down sub defense there that time. It's 3rd and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback. Now forcing the incompletion, setting up 4th.
It's 4th and 8, and never a hesitation. They'll go for it. Unloads to the wideout. Can't make the connection, and the defense gets a 4th down stop.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job understanding they were going to throw the football on this 4th down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
He'll get it across the 30-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 32 as this offense is trying to do some work.
Great offenses always stay ahead of the chains. That run right there, now you're in a good position. It's not 2nd and long. It's not 3rd and long. Now it's the whole playbook's open. The defense really has to honor run and pass on the next snap.
Catch in the middle. It's Knox. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They'll go to the toss. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. He might want another play. Looking downfield very late in the half. He'll take a deep shot here. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Zips will kick it off to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Guys, the Blue Hen offense going to work. They start this third quarter, one-possession game, and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking to fire. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Quarterback had everything he wanted there. He knew pre-snap exactly where he was going. Of course he was going to be going towards his primary target. Just can't hook up for the completion.
They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Makes the grab along the sidelines, and they get enough for the first down. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, 3rd down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win, and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
He was able to squirt free and pick up just a few on that one. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
They couldn't make the connection on 2nd down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
Shows him the stiff arm. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
Well, right away after picking up a first down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back. And I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the back.
And you become so hard to defend.
There he goes. Finally out of bounds at the 21-yard line after the big run.
Well, it's a really nice job of the offense mixing it up on this drive. We've seen some nice plays throwing it, and how about that one running it too? Great push up front.
And the Blue Hens pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. The give to the back. Brought down after a pickup of 2 to the 19.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And this offense, man, they talked about it coming out of half. They wanted to get their guy into a rhythm. To do that, man, you got to protect him. You got to keep him upright. He's been hit a lot. He hasn't made that many plays throughout this football game. They got to do a better job of protecting their guy.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. With the catch, it's Huff. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down.
A nice job of awareness on defense there on that third down. You know, you're expecting the offense to throw the football, but it's not just going to be receivers or tight ends you got to worry about. You got to keep your eye on where that running back is. They knew exactly where he would be, and they were able to make the tackle setting up for it.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Big man has it. It's a first down and more. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense. First and goal from the 7. The Blue Hens didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field.
Well, to heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip shot.
Touchdown, Delaware! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look.
That is so impressive. Not only was it a great catch, but also he made sure he had 1 foot in bounds to get the touchdown. Beautiful job.
After taking another look just to confirm everything, the officials on the field got it right. Play will stand. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A pair of top 15 teams throwing haymakers today. Let's show you the very latest. Miami is just getting blown off the field today. This has been a gong show since the opening kick. And the U is staring at a big fat L right now. They're trailing by 14 to Rice. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with...
Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Defense has it, they're on the move. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. And now the Blue Hen offense onto the field. Really good balance on that last drive. They mixed it up all over the place, Jesse.
Yeah, how nice, too, to have the defense on their heels, because at this point, they don't know what's coming at them. They had problems stopping everything that last drive did.
So I think this defense would come back with a little more aggressiveness. I mean, they let them have what they wanted. Now they got to dictate to this offense a little bit more.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Grabbed over the middle. It's Huff. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
The RPO, it's complete. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. They were banking on the yards after the catch, but that went into the negative column.
And I'm banking on the ball coming out quick. When I'm a defense and understanding third and short, understand they're going to throw the ball really quickly, try to make a play. The defense knew it, broke on the football, made a nice tackle to force a 4th down.
And the Blue Hens have it with a 1st and 10. Wants to throw again. Unloads to the right. Makes the catch. Gets it into the end zone, but wait a minute. We'll have to check out the laundry on the field. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol. Quarterback keeps it. It's a fumble. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
And that's fumbles in consecutive weeks. Coaches don't like that. They start to, you know what happens is the trust factor goes out the window. I don't want to run you as much because I can't trust you as much, especially in big spots. Got to hold on to that football.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. Here's the handoff. Defense not budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
He hurls one deep down the left side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
And in this weather, man, you start to see more of this. You try to throw the ball harder to penetrate it through the weather and get it to your target, but just catching a football that's a little bit slippery sometimes, you'll see some of those drops, and it's just part of the game.
And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. They'll snap it from the 37 for the first play of this drive. The give on the option. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
At some point, enough is enough. This is the guy that's beating me. He's priority number one. We got to go get him. It's getting later in the second half. I got to go out and make some plays and get my offense the ball back.
Got enough for the first. A nice play there, and that is likely how we'll put the finishing touches on this period. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Oh, he's got some space. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. They'll try the run. Runs through another guy.
And this guy really has been a workhorse today. He's made plays when his offense has needed them the most. He's a guy who's reliable. They know they can turn around, give him the football, and he'll go make things work out. They're going to need him to finish this game. He has to continue playing well after that big run there.
They'll leave it with him. Defense holds their ground. Pickup of a yard. It's at the 26.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock. And they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
Offenses gain momentum with third down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25.
And that's the challenge for this defense, man. It starts to get later in the ball game. That clock is not your friend. You're losing the football game. They got to meet the physical challenge of this run game.
They go to the ground. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
That's a great individual play, and I love cornerbacks that don't just take pride in covering guys. I like guys that like to put their face in the fan and affect the running game. This dude is physical, and he impacts the defense because of that.
And those guys are really hard to find. A lot of corners, they're smaller. They don't want any part of the physical run game. Nice job sticking his face in there, setting the edge, and making the tackle.
Big run there. Gets it inside the 20, all the way down to the 14 before he goes out of bounds.
And this offense continues to have success and just put a long drive together. And on this defense, I'm getting desperate now. It's desperation. I got to make a play. I got to force something to happen. I got to change something up, and I got to get this football back to my offense.
The quick out. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. looking for a physical attack from the gun. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Now they'll run the draw. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
And that hurts on defense, giving up the first on the ground like that. We're in a one-possession game. You've got all 3 timeouts. I think you got to start burning them here to save some clock.
Quarterback making checks. Trying to pound it in. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. Follow the blocker. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Zips take over in Akron, ready to get that offense to work. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Now, I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the 4th quarter, and you're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
This freshman quarterback is slinging it out there to pick up that first down.
And this offense is going to have to be aggressive, right? Down a couple possessions, got to continue to get these first downs, move quick, don't be in a hurry, but they've got to keep the accelerator down because they need some explosive plays.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Now he'll let one fly down the left side. He holds it in, and nobody's close. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
And that is a big-time play for the offense. The defense knew coming into this game they had to keep this guy bottled up and keep him in the pocket. That didn't happen there. He was able to buy time, extend the play. Receivers are in scramble drill mode. He finds a guy. He's accurate, off schedule, and the defense now has to do a much better job keeping this guy contained, or they are going to get lit up just like that.
Quarterback floating away from pressure. And the rush will get to him at the 25. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Zips have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Wants to go up top. Takes the easy throw in the flat. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. And whatever they did on 1st and 2nd down, don't do that anymore. 3rd and very long coming up. Wants to throw. It's Daniels. He's got him. They wrestle him down at the 16-yard line. A 3rd down stop. Now to see what they do on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Going for 6. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. was trying to find enough room to take it back for the pick six.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
Spins away from the defense. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. They're just about to put this W in the books, guys. Comes against a ranked opponent, a team that most of us expected them to beat, and they were able to come through.
Yeah, but you're going to get challenged early in the season. It's fun to play other ranked teams and kind of see what you have. And
breaks into the open. Past the first down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
They'll give it to the back. He makes the stop at the 48. That'll be enough for a first down and a pickup of 10.
How about that for efficiency if you're on this offense right now? 3 plays, 3 first downs. They get that one running the football. Great vision and open field running ability. Everything they're doing right now is working. This play caller is in a rhythm.